Hello everybody and welcome back inside the box for another episode of Gunpla Kitbash with me, Kukamatsu. In this episode we'll be trying out some ideas for the chest vents. So, let's jump right in. Okay, well I figured this would be a good time to put the whole thing together to get a sense of how it's looking. Overall, I'm happy with what I've been doing, but I'm feeling like this middle section is a little bit droopy. In the design, I had them a little bit more pointed up, and I want it at least straight across, if not a little bit pointed up, so you get that nice angle with the shoulder armor. And I think the reason behind it is just that I've made these central parts too big. So I'm actually, even though I've taken a lot of time to get it fitting in there properly and everything kind of meeting up nicely, I am going to keep on working on it, and I'm going to change it, and I'm going to take some of that bulk out of there and see if I can get it pointing up a little bit in that direction. Okay, so the goal is to take this piece and tilt it sort of that way, making the distance between there and there less. But at the same time, because it's going to tilt, I need to take it off on a bit of an angle, I think, so that it'll meet up with these pieces. I'm a little reluctant to do this because I put so much work into getting it to fit the first time, but I know I'm not going to be happy with it if I leave it the way it is, so I'm not going to compromise on that. I'm going to take the extra time and get it right. Okay, I think that's looking way better now. I'm glad I took the time to do that. The alignment is looking a lot better. It doesn't have that droopy feel anymore. Much happier with that. And so now at this point I want to move on to filling in the gaps. I grabbed a bunch of vent pieces from different kits that I have in the boneyard. You may have noticed, if you are familiar with this kit, that I actually forgot to put on the Kyrios vent pieces originally. They're meant to go sort of, I think they're sort of in there like that. So that was just an oversight on my part. I just totally missed it for some reason. I mean, when I did the original build, I don't know why. But anyway, I don't think they're going to work anymore. I was thinking of these ones. These ones are the Mark II. That could be a possibility, but they're a little bit big, maybe. I was also looking at this. I almost didn't even try these ones out because on the master grade Barbatos, which is where they're from, they look so different, or they're such a different style. I didn't think it would work, but then when I put it in here like this, I started to think, actually, as a vertical one, it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna put that there and then put something else on the inside. Maybe one of these. This one is Freedom 2.0. I'd have to cut it back a bit to get it in there. The other one I was thinking of maybe is this one. The idea is to get it in behind this orange panel, so it would be stepped. The front one would be out at the surface, and then the other one would be inset in there. Yeah, start chopping them up a little bit and see if I can fit them in. I think I'd want that pushing right up against the side. I might have to clean out some of the stuff on the inside or glue to it. I'm not sure yet, so I'll leave it there, but definitely want to trim off these tabs. I think if this is going to work, I need to clean out those two tabs that are in there so that it'll sit on that little shelf. I did consider the idea of just building one totally from scratch, but that would definitely be very finicky work. So I want to clear those out. I intentionally didn't do the final finishing of the shaping work because I knew that this was going to involve some cutting and fitting, and I figured might as well get it all working and then do that as the last step. I'll just stick it in with some sticky tack for now. The tricky part of the back part of the vent is that I still need the space to get that peg into that hole when I'm putting it back together. It goes in there like that. The vent will sit in front of it. I may have to trim some of it back and make it thinner just to get that to work. Visually, you want it to be tucked behind that, but there isn't really any space behind that. It looks like there is, but it's very little, and it is right where the hinge is, right in there. So I can't trim that in at all. What I may have to do is trim back that vent piece just in the corner there. I just don't want to trim back so much that it doesn't look like a vent anymore. I mean, I've got to a point where I might as well have just stuck a piece of styrene in there. It doesn't really look like a vent back there anymore. In an ideal world, those shapes would just continue back. That's a tricky one. Definitely a tricky one. I always knew this was going to be the tricky part, even from the design stage. Just a weird shape for a vent there. Well, sometimes your first idea is your best idea. You just got to go all the way around to come back to it. These are the Mark II vent pieces, and they actually fit pretty well, I'd say. And it'll look pretty cool, I think, to have both of them on there. Just wanted to do a little bit deeper in, so I'm trimming out the back part it was sitting against. Yeah, actually that's looking pretty cool, I think. I don't think I would leave it yellow. I would just paint it to look like metal, so it won't be quite as prominent. There it is with the other side done. I'm digging it. So now it's a matter of all the fine tuning, fixing the surface, making sure all the gaps that I want filled are filled, making sure it's all symmetrical as much as I possibly can. Bit of sanding and filling, and see how it goes. Overall, I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's probably a good time to spray some gray on there and see where all the imperfections are and see where I need to do the work. There we go, that is the final result. I think I'm pretty happy with that. And that is the end of the episode. In the next episode, we'll be working on the head and the arms. So if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you give me a like down below. Check out the playlist for previous videos. Subscribe if you want to follow along, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.